Guys, welcome back. It is Friday. It's been a minute, busy week. Got some time now. Not much sports news on the week. Obviously, hockey stuff, but that was kind of the main thing. And I don't know much about hockey in the UFC cards week. The UCL draws are out, but we still have about 2 weeks till those even get played, so there's no point in releasing it now. But in this coming week, um, the tennis season, and this is where I think it officially comes into swing on both sides. Obviously, we already played one of our four majors. The WTA has had some bigger events, but this is the first week that the men's side gets the bigger events with the women's side, and it starts to spring into fruition. The Sunshine Double is coming up. If you don't know, there's a tournament in California, March 4th. To the 13th, and right after that, the week after that, there's a tournament in Miami. They're both 1,000 points for the men and women's side. So today, I'm just going to talk about who I think could contend for these tournaments on each side, the men's and women's side, and I'm going to talk about the men's side first because it's a lot less competitive at the top. There's a very big gap from 1 and 2 to there on. And so I think it is time to talk about it. So on the men's side, going into the Sunshine Double, the world number one, Carlos Alcaraz, who's already won 2 titles this year in his 2 tournaments he's played, the Australian Open, making him the youngest ever male tennis player to complete the career Grand Slam, a record that had not been broken for years and years on end. He is now 3,000 points clear of the world number 2, Jannik Sinner, and the gap is becoming apparent as Carlos went there, won, then he got paid $1.2 million in guaranteed money, more prize money than the tournament paid, just to compete, and he didn't just compete, he won. Jannik Sinner was offered the same amount, and he lost in the quarterfinals of the tournament. He similar to the Australian Open where he lost the semi, obviously a lot more points for losing the semifinal of a major than the quarters of a 500 level event, but it just shows Carlos 2 tournaments, same tournament as Jannik, and he hasn't played them yet this year, which is very rare. Usually, when they're in the same tournaments, they're on opposite ends of the draw and they meet in the final. That's just how it is on the men's side these days. But I think that Jannik will be back soon. I have no doubt in my mind that he will, but if he is not back for time of the Sunshine Double, then at least some important discussions. Because I can 100% see both Indian Wells and the Miami Open ending in St. Carras finals. I wouldn't exactly hate that. It's an entertaining match. It gets boring after a while when you do it over and over, but we haven't had one since the U.S. Open. Or we might have had one in the Asia Swing. I'm not 100% sure now I say it out loud because there are some bigger tournaments in the Asia Swing. So let me check when the last time we had one of those St. Carras finals was. Yeah, obviously Turin, the final match of the season with the St. Carras final that Jannik Sinner beat Alcaraz in. But other than that, I was correct. They haven't played since the U.S. Open in a not like a real tournament, but like a bigger tournament because the ATP Finals is just the top 8 in the world, so the odds there were already increased that they play each other in the final. And then there's a big skill gap down to Novak, and the skill gap from prime Novak to these two, Novak would be winning, but Novak is 40. He's 38. So the skill, he's fallen off a little bit, but he's still the world number 3. So, not really, obviously. He was the world number, 5 to start the year, made a final run in the Australian Open where Alcaraz defeated him. He's up to 5,000 points in the season, and I don't even know if he's competing in the Sunshine Double. I mean, I assume he's going to play at least one of them. Like I said, he's older. I don't know how much longer he's going to be around, so I think he'll play. But if he does, I don't think it'll be too much of a threat. He's done good this year. I just don't see him being a threat. And I'm just going to go down from the top 10. Same with Alexander Zverev. He lost in the second round of Acapulco semifinals tonight for that tournament. My boy Big Foe still surviving. He's got a fairly easy draw so far, but you don't pick your matches. You know what I mean? You just got to win who's in front of you, and he's been able to do that. Zverev lost in Acapulco to Miomir Kekmanovic. He was on the other side of the draw, so they went across past the final. But Miomir is now also in the semifinal. He beat him in the round of 16 And then the quarterfinals, I think he beat. Actually, I don't remember who he beat. I know it was an easier win for him, but now I gotta check because I don't want to. I I don't know. Let's see. He beat. Oh, Terrence Attman on a time violation on match point. Yep. Yeah, I do remember that. But that was, yeah. Okay, that was pretty. I would not have got that. Number 5. Oh, I just dropped my little microphone cap. Number 5, Lorenzo Musetti. He's not going to pose a threat here. I'm sorry, Lorenzo. You're good, but hard court. I'm still not worried about hard court Musetti. Number 6, Alex de Minaur. He was number 2 in Acapulco. He also lost in Acapulco. First round exit to Patrick Gibson. Huge upset. But I don't think that's going to mess with him. He won a tournament of 500 already this year. I think he's going to continue to win. I could see him being at least a semifinalist in one of these tournaments. I think he could go to the finals. If he doesn't have to play Sinner or Alcaraz, if they get knocked out before then. So I think he's definitely a contender. So I would say Alcaraz, Sinner, de Minaur so far is who I would consider contenders for this tournament. Fritz, no. Felix, definitely not. Felix, rough loss today to Medi. I just like Felix is top 10, but I just don't see him at that next step yet. I don't. He's done really good in the past swing to jump into the top 10, but I don't think he's there yet. Bublik, 100% not. He gets angry. He throws his racket. He whines and pouts every time he plays a semi-good player. He'll have no chance, and that is the male top 10. So out of the top 10, ooh, I skipped Ben. Ben Schoutman? No. I'm going to say no this week. I think it's doable. I think he can I think he could win a 1,000 event with Carlos and Yannick. If he only has to play one of them, I think it's possible. I just don't think this is the week he's going to do it. I think you give him 2 years, and he'll be up there with those two. Right now, he's the world number 8. He won a 1,000 event. Neither of them participated. It was right before the U.S. Open, so that's why. And that was last year, right before the U.S. Open. Everyone was getting hurt and heat strokes because it was like extremely hot, like unusually hot in the tournaments last year. Big Foe got one against Holger Rune, who is Holger Rune. I feel so incredibly bad for him because he'd be top 10 right now, if not close to it, and he tore his ACL, so he won't be playing until at least the China swing, really the Asia swing. So we'll see about that. But now we got to the top 10. I think your contenders for this week: Carlos, Yannick, obviously, and Alex. Really, that's it. And then some sleepers outside the top 10. Danny, he might actually jump into the top 10 before. I'm not sure how many points the final would get him, but Daniel, he's been playing really good this year. He had a really off year last year, but he's been playing really good. Other than that, yeah, I don't know. I'm not really seeing much. I hope Tiafoe, obviously he's 25 right now, jump in the rankings this week, jump over Lerner Tien and Valentin Baccarat this week, and he has a chance, if he gets 2 more wins, to jump over Griegspoor, Paul, Lehechka, and Dartery into the top 20, or very close to it. I think Ugo Humbert, 34th in the world, can make a deep run at both these. He's been playing really good recently, getting that ranking up. I hope Alejandro Tabilo competes. I know he's only 28. If he gets the opportunity, I think he definitely should. I think he could win some matches, improve that ranking. And I love Marin Cilic. He just out of the top 50, which means no guaranteed entry to these, but he's so good. I really hope he gets in because I love watching him play. And he's really skilled. He's as old as Novak, basically, but he's super skilled. So for my men's side, my main picks, I'm going to go Jannik Sinner, Carlos Alcaraz, de Minaur. And for my sleeper outside the top 10 picks, I'm going to go Danny Medvedev and my boy Ugo Humbert. And also, I didn't talk about him. Arthur Fils, he's made his return to tour after a 6-month back injury recently and started jumping the ranks again. So he's been playing decent. He made a final, lost to Alcaraz. Also, keep an eye out for Francisco Cerundolo. He's very good. I think he can make a deep run at any tournament at any time. And then, so those are my picks for the men's side. Now let's jump over to the more fun to talk about side, in my opinion. Now, I know a lot of people think that women's tennis is like so different, but it's really not. It's more competitive. There's not as much of a gap between the skill from the top 2 and everyone else. So I'm not going to talk about all 10 players here. I'll only talk about the ones I think have a chance. Obviously, Arna, hardcourt queen, has a chance. She just won. No, she lost. She didn't win the Australian Open. She won the U.S. Open. and she has been doing good. She's 10,000 points, yeah, but 3,000 points clear of Swiatek. I don't think Swiatek has a chance. I don't know. She's just she hasn't been playing good recently. Rybakina, she's been on the most incredible swing I've seen from a player ever to go from world number 13 to world number 3 like that. Coco, no, I'm not gonna give Coco a chance this week. Jessie, yes, she just won Doha 1,000 event, so she could definitely do it. Uh, Amanda, no. Jasmine, no. Mira, I don't think so, but I like her. And Boko, I hope so. I got an auto of her from a box I opened, so I hope she does good. I don't think Alex Intro is doing much. Maddie Keys, she fell a lot. I hope Osaka competes. I know she withdrew with injury, but I like her. Iva Jovic, one of the quickest ever jumps into the top 20 ever. She's been playing so good. Watch out for her in the coming years. Kalinskaya, obviously. My girl Qinwen Zhang, she's been playing good. Definitely not. Ooh. So, like, it's so hard to pick players on the women's side because their skill gap is not large. But I'm going to pick, if I had to pick 5 women, I'm going to do 2 in the top 10, and I'm going to do some sleeper picks just because I want to go around. I'll pick Arna and Rybakina and Mboko for my top 10, and I'll pick a few more outside the top 10 for who I think has a chance on the women's side. I'm going to take Iva Jovic at 18 in the world. She made the quarters of the Australian Open. She had a tough loss in Austin this week, but it's okay. I'm going to take Qinwen Zhang, returned from injury really recently, climbing those ranks again. I'm going to take Maya Joint. She's one of my favorite players on the women's tour. Maya Joint from Australia. Seeing her climb from like a player that I'd see at challenger events, like 200th in the world from like the last January to 29th in the world. If you watched her play, if you tune into some of those matches when she was competing at challenger and 250s, you would know that she'd be here. Like, she's just so technically skilled, like with the serve and all. Love Alex Ela at 31 in the world. She's been doing amazing things this year. Always love Zachary down at 33 from the Greece. And then I love Ann Lee, but she's not doing it. She's not going to win, but I do like her. And then Magdalene at 46, Fresh 47. Those girls are great. Krejcikova and Ruzic at 51 and 55. And Kasatkina, my favorite women's player on tour, Daria Kasatkina, the 58th in the world. She is my favorite women's player on the tour, I think. I don't really have a favorite women's player as much as I do comparative to Big Foe, but if I had to pick one, I'd say it's Daria Kasatkina because I like to watch her play. She brings a lot to the game, and I had a career mode with her on Tiebreak Tennis in 2024. That game, it's a trash video game, but it's cheap and it has licensing. So you take what you can get in tennis video game world because they don't give you much. But anyways, those are my predictions for the Sunshine Double. I'm probably gonna release this later tonight into tomorrow. Not really sure. I'm super hungry. I'm gonna go get something to eat before I post this. So that's why I'm saying it. And then depending on how long that takes, it's gonna be match time for the semifinals in Acapulco. And my boy Big Foe, second on court against Brandon Nakashima. If he can get it done tonight, I think he's going to win this tournament. I have yet to see him win a tournament since I started watching him. The best run he's had has been the first tournament I watched him in the U.S. Open semifinal. That got him the most points. He did make a final, a 250 in Houston last year, but he lost in straight sets to Jenson Brooksby. Oh, no. But again, those are my picks. I know I went kind of quicker on the women's side, but there's just so many people to talk about. For the men's side, I scrolled down to 20, and for the women's side, I scrolled down to 60. So I'm just looking for names that I like, names that I recognize that I've seen perform at the high level because the skill gap is not a lot. It's really any given day on that side. And thank you for watching this. Goodbye.